Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all the panelists and the participants. So I welcome you to today's session on the in-demand program, PGDM in Healthcare Management. But before starting the session, I would like to quickly introduce our speaker for today. So I would like to share my screen. Okay. So talking about speaker for today, we have Professor Dr. Bhagwati Prasad. He's a Senior Associate Dean, Healthcare Management at V School, Mumbai. So this particular program we offer at our Mumbai campus. Talking about Sir's education, Sir has done PhD in Biomedical Engineering from IIT Bombay. He has done MTech again in Biomedical Engineering from Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University. He has done MSc and BSc in Physics from University of Rajasthan. Sir has over 4.5 years of experience in teaching in our program, PGDM Healthcare Management. In addition, he also holds 16 years of industry experience in design and development of laboratory diagnostic products. He's also having a professional affiliation. He's a member of CII Western Region Core Group on Healthcare. He's also associate member of Association of Indian Medical Device Industry. So I would like to welcome Bhagwati, sir. We welcome you, sir. In addition, we have also Professor Dr. Anjali, ma'am. She'll be also available in the chat, and Professor Dr. Asavari, ma'am. So she'll be handling all the chat queries. So students, during the session, if you have any questions, you can just put it in the Q&A box. With this, I would like to hand over the dais to sir. So please, you can continue.
Thank you. Please give me the slide sharing, right? So if
yes,
you are there, I'll start the sharing and then I can continue.
Yes, sir.
So this, maybe Lakshmi, you can confirm that my slides are visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll keep my video off so that bandwidth can be saved, but I'm here. You'll be able to hear me.
Yes.
Maybe you'll not see me for during my presentation. So it's already about 4:09 or so in my watch here. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining on this afternoon today. I hope all of you and your family members are well. And thanks for being part of this session. I will take approximately 35 minutes of time to share some of the details about healthcare sector, and more slides are about PGDM Healthcare Management Program. And I'm thankful to you for giving your time for this particular session, and I hope that you'll find this session useful. Already, Lakshmi has already shared, so Lakshmi and two of my colleagues, Professor Anjali and Professor Asavari, are part of the panel. So please do type your questions in the Q&A window, and even through the session, they'll be glad to answer the queries. And after I finish with my slides, I will also interact with you and answer as many queries as possible. We have about 15 minutes or so 35 minutes or so I will take. Okay, so as I said, I will talk about the healthcare sector and the PGDM Healthcare Management Program. So I want to start with the, giving you an overview of sort of healthcare sector at world level, at global level. So if you think about the healthcare sector at global level, more than 12% of entire world's GDP is generated in healthcare sector. Okay, so this is one figure you can keep in mind. And we don't have a latest figure, but as per the World Economic Forum's report, in 2020, this amount was more than $10 trillion. And in terms of rupees, this, when you convert, there are too many zeros, it is 750 lakh crore rupees. That was a revenue that was generated world over in healthcare sector. And as per Deloitte's report, this was further expected to increase through 2023. This was, by the way, pre-COVID, was expected to rise at 5%. And I'm sure that due to COVID, this is increasing at a rapid pace than 5% also. And world over, approximately 2% of the manpower, total manpower at world level is involved in healthcare. I also wanted to include and show you this particular slide, which is again taken from World Economic Forum. And this is about 6 months back slide. And this shows 20 fastest growing jobs. And what you see on x-axis here is your median annual salary, but it is in US dollars. That is on x-axis here. And y-axis, what you see is your employment change, and is what is predicted from 2020 to 2030. And then there are different colors used. So blue colors circles are for health related. So you can see many blue circles here. So that means healthcare sector jobs are going to increase largely. And then the size of the circle indicates, to what extent these jobs will increase. So we are talking about PGDM healthcare management program or medical or healthcare manager. So that particular circle is here, and this is the place it lies. So what this indicates? A couple of things. In next 8 years or so, there are going to be world over at least more than 1 lakh jobs for health and medical related professionals, more than 1 lakh. And in terms of percent increase, it will be approximately 25 to 40%. That is the size of the circle that is indicating here. And if you see the average, what is predicted here, which is here, a lot of jobs are decreasing, but even if you see what are the jobs which are likely to increase, the average growth rate is expected to be 7.7%, whereas the healthcare jobs are expected to, what I've marked here, medical and health services managers, that is likely to increase by 25 to 42%. So I thought this is another starting point, and you should get some overview of what is happening at world level in healthcare sector. Now we can come to India. So in India also, by the way, healthcare is one of the largest employers. As of now, it is the 4th largest recruiters. The first 3 are, by the way, agriculture, retail, and the real estate, and the 4th is healthcare. And I'm sure quickly we will become number 3. Healthcare will become number 3. First 2 will, I think, remain agriculture and retail, and will overtake real estate, I'm sure, in next few years. So already healthcare sector is the 4th largest recruiters in India as well. In terms of GDP, percent of GDP, approximately 5.5% of India's GDP comes from healthcare sector. Within this 5.5%, approximately government spends about 1.6%, and remaining 4% or so comes from private pockets. Again, if you see, this is from IBF's healthcare report of November 2021, just 3 months back. Healthcare sector overall size is growing at a CAGR, compound annual growth rate, of more than 17%, which is again at normal times. Before COVID, our GDP increases at about 5.56% or 7% or so. So healthcare sector is one of the fastest growing sectors in India as well, and it is growing at, in my opinion, 2.5 times compared to any other sector. So compared to definitely the GDP growth rate, healthcare sector is growing faster than GDP as well. And in terms of size, this healthcare sector generates revenue of about 15 lakh crore rupees in India, and this was 2020 figure. Now, many people, when they think about healthcare, they think that it is about hospitals. So I thought I'll include one slide about what are the main segments within healthcare. And this is what is listed. So let's spend some time on it, so that if you are not from healthcare background, then you can understand what happens in this industry. And it's not just about hospitals. So hospital, I'm sure everybody is familiar about. And hospitals are in 2 categories: government hospitals and private hospitals. I'm sure you are familiar probably for both. Examples of government hospitals would be AIIMS in Delhi. In Mumbai would be Kasturba Hospital, KM Hospital, Tata Memorial Hospital. And in terms of private hospitals, Apollo Hospital chain, Fortis, Wokhard, Jaslok, Hinduja, Nanavati. These are private hospitals. So this is one of the largest segment, and I'm sure everybody is aware about this segment within healthcare sector. Second segment is pharmaceutical, and the companies here basically they manufacture chemical entities or medicines for treatment of human beings or animals. Some of the examples or names of the companies. So Indian companies are Alchem, Biocon, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, Lupin, Sun Pharma. MNCs in this segment are Abbott, Bayer, GSK, J&J, Pfizer, and Sanofi. Third segment is diagnostics. Again, I'm sure reasonably all of you or some of the other person in the family have already gone through some of the, let's say, RT-PCR tests. So that is an example of a diagnostic test. So the companies in this sector provide services for analytical or diagnostic services. RT-PCR test is just one example. Glucose, cholesterol would be another example. Imaging is another example. So some of the players in this segment are Dr. Lal Spethler, Metropolis, SRL, Suburban, and Thyrocare. Fourth segment is medical equipment. So this companies in this particular segment, they manufacture consumables, implants, or large equipment. Examples of equipment would be X-ray machines, MRI machine, CAT scan machine, ECG machines, like that. Consumables would be syringes, even Band-Aid is a consumable, or it's a medical device. At home, you will have several medical devices, for example, specs that I wear, or some of you may be wearing, that for contact lenses are actually medical devices. A weighing balance is a medical device. So there are several companies in this segment as well. Domestic companies are Merrill, Polymed, Transitia, Truiton, and Sajan Medical Technology. And below that are some names for MNCs. So B. Braun, GE, Medtronic, Philips, and Siemens are MNCs in medical devices sector. Fifth segment is medical insurance. So this segment covers the risk for hospitalization or any other medical expenses, depending on what type of policies you go for. And some of the big names are Bajaj Alliance, Future Generali, SDFC Ergo, ICICI Lombard, LIC, NIC, Manipal Signa, and Tata AJG, and there are many others. And the last segment, which is listed here, is telemedicine companies. These companies provide services in rural or remote areas. IT is not included here, but so I have not included that segment here. But healthcare IT is another field. So telemedicine companies would be 1mg, which has been now taken over by Tata, PureFit, Evolco, Geo Health Hub, Liberate, Practo, Tata Health, and Televatel, and there are many more. So I thought I can give you a snapshot. If you don't have healthcare background, that healthcare is not just about hospital. There are many other parts of the healthcare sector. Now, what is happening in healthcare sector? So there are several reasons that the healthcare sector is growing in India, especially. First is that there are large gaps. So one gap that I told you about, government spends about 1.6%. Government, by the way, plans to increase that percentage to 2.5% by 2025 also. So in the next 3 years or so, government expenditure budget is likely to increase. At least that's a promise. So wherever such gaps are there, you can say there are opportunities. Similarly, there is a large divide between infrastructure that is available in rural areas compared to urban areas. Most of the population, 70% or so population, is in rural areas, but infrastructure is poor there. Most of the healthcare related infrastructure is actually available in urban areas. So that means there is a huge potential for growth in rural or tier 2, tier 3 cities. Health insurance coverage remains very, very limited, especially private insurance based remains very, very limited. So again, there's a huge opportunity for growth. There is a shortage of manpower, whether it is clinicians or medical professionals or healthcare management professionals. There is a shortage of manpower. That itself means opportunity there. And once again, there is a shortage of infrastructure overall in healthcare, and some of it has been sort of brought in front by COVID pandemic. And I think all of you will be aware of what happened. Another growth driver is that in last couple of decades, on an average for middle class, income has been increasing, and in a sense, everybody can afford healthcare services. So there is a more demand for healthcare services. Everybody nowadays has access to internet and smartphones, even in rural areas and other towns as well. So that also means, again, there is an awareness about whether, if I'm suffering about something, I have some pain in some place, and I'll go to internet and search what happens. Am I having some other particular disorder or disease, and then I will go to a doctor to get treatment. So that access to information is increasing demand in healthcare. As of now, India has young population, and most of the population will be below 35 years, but there is an increase in the aging population. So that is also going to lead to increase in demand of healthcare services. And the older people require more healthcare services than younger people. There is an increase. Pre-COVID, there was, because health in India, we provide good quality healthcare at reasonable and affordable cost. So a lot of foreigners come to India and they go for surgeries or medical treatment in India. That is called medical tourism. And that is again a growing facility or sector segment within healthcare sector. Apart from that, there are a lot of technological advancements which are taking place: mobile health, electronic health, artificial intelligence, and some others. And that is also leading to improvement in healthcare. COVID, of course, in forefront in everybody's mind, health, and wellness. And government has brought out several policies. And again, I'm not going to list, there are many more, but just few are listed here. So a few years back, government started insurance scheme, health insurance scheme called Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So there is a wonderful scheme. Last year in budget, healthcare expenditure was increased, more than double. It was increased by 1.37 times, so more than doubled. Government issued policies for telemedicine as well as some guidance for e-pharmacies. There is a lot of efforts going on for digital health. So digital health ID has been announced, National Digital Health Mission has been announced. 100% foreign investment is allowed in healthcare sector. And during COVID times, government has allowed or has announced policies for production linked incentives for pharma as well as medical device companies. So these are again just some examples of why healthcare, there is an increase in demand of healthcare services. Now, so what is happening with this such a large demand? So this is attracting not just healthcare company, which and some examples I've already given. It is actually attracting a lot of other players which were not traditionally in healthcare, and now the healthcare sector is becoming attractive for other companies as well. So I'm just listing some examples here. Alphabet, if you don't know, Alphabet is a owner of Google. So Google has entered healthcare. They have a subsidiary called Verily Life Sciences. Amazon, I'm sure all of you know, they have acquired a company called PayPal. They are in healthcare. Apple, if you don't know, the Apple CEO, Mr. Tim Cook, he has recently said that as of that, it's only a matter of few years that Apple will be known as a health tech company and not as a mobile or a computing device company. So that is his statement, that healthcare will be known as a health tech company. Microsoft is in healthcare. So these are big names. I'm sure you know about these companies. They have entered healthcare sector. And these are not the only ones. Almost every tech giant that you are aware of is entering healthcare. Facebook, IBM, Intel, Oracle, Samsung, Uber, Flipkart, which is now acquired by Walmart. And if you talk about Indian conglomerates, so Adani Group, Reliance Group, SpiceJet, and Tata, all these have also entered healthcare. So all these big giants are entering healthcare sector. Now, what these, especially tech giants, what are these doing? What they are doing in healthcare sector? So of course, they are trying to do something new compared to what was happening in healthcare sector. So this particular slide, just one slide I included here to tell you a little bit about what is happening in the sector. So these tech companies are bringing new innovations in healthcare sector, and like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, or in healthcare it is called Internet of Medical Things, robotic process automation, 3D printing, robotics, etc. They are bringing these type of technologies in healthcare. So for example, in case of 3D printing, you can print tissues or organs for let's say therapy. Artificial intelligence is being used for imaging or diagnosis. Non-invasive, let's say ingestible capsules are available, so which can be useful for non-invasive diagnosis. A lot of apps which were now earlier not available, and nowadays a lot of patient-facing mobile applications are available, which was not the case earlier. COVID times, again, I don't want to explain, but I think telemedicine, probably practically everybody has experienced in the last 2 years, healthcare services being accessed from home rather than going to hospital. Surgical robots are being available now routinely. Of course, as of now, they are quite expensive, but they are available. Similarly, there is one more trend that is taking place. Traditionally, if somebody fell sick, you had to go to a doctor's place or you had to go to a hospital. Slowly, there is a shift that more and more services and devices are available at home. And nowadays, even you can set up a decent ICU at home. So these are some of the, if I had to give a quick overview of what is happening in healthcare sector, these are just some examples of what is happening. This slide is another way of looking at it. And every circle, every concentric circle that you see is a 5-year horizon. And the red bar that you see is when a particular healthcare related technology is likely to be available. So we are in 2022. So what it shows is basically wellness related gamification or wearable devices, wearable sensors are already available in marketplace. And by the time we go to 2035, devices like 3D bioprinting, nano robots, 3D printed drugs, regenerative medicine, bioprinted sensors, and many, many more technologies will be accessible and available to us. So a lot of things are happening in healthcare space. I also wanted to give you, if you follow the stock market, probably you may be seeing that the Sensex has increased, you know, by a huge percentage. So I compared Sensex versus, so on right hand side, what you see in pink or red is the chart since the start of COVID pandemic, and blue is the BSE healthcare index. So Sensex, if you compare with pre-COVID times, it has increased by about 52% or so. And if you see BSE healthcare index, that has increased in the same duration by 75%. Okay. So not only that, so it has increased by much higher margin. Also, if you see here, the healthcare index sort of returned to pre-COVID times within a month's time, and whereas Sensex took maybe 6-7 months time to recover, to come back to the same level. What this also means that the healthcare sector is also much more resilient compared to, I can say, most of the sectors, and this is in a way the message that I want to convey behind this particular slide. That healthcare sector is resilient, and also that the increase in healthcare index is much more than the Sensex. So it also indicates that the investment sentiments for the healthcare sector are extremely positive. So that is the message I wanted to give. So, okay, this is about healthcare sector. Now I have some slides about PGDM Healthcare Management Program, and I'm sure you want to hear about that. So program actually started in the year 2011, and so far till last year, 2021, 9 batches have completed the program, and there are 60 seats, and this program is offered only in Mumbai campus, not in Bengaluru campus. So there are 60 seats, and all 60 seats get filled. So if you want to apply, you will have to compete for getting a seat in PGDM Healthcare Management Program. Also, as 9 batches have completed the program, I can say that the curriculum and the program is fairly mature and stable now. It's no longer a new program in the school. In the second year, unlike other MBA programs or PGDM programs, we don't offer finance, HR, ops, marketing specialization. We offer 2 specializations, which are hospital administration and pharmaceutical and life sciences management. And the reason to offer these 2 are, as I showed you, there are 6 main segments within healthcare. These are the main segments where maximum revenue is generated. Hospital generates something like 71-72%. Pharma industry generates maybe 13-14% of entire sector's revenue. But our degree remains in healthcare, so it's not a PGDM in hospital management or PGDM in pharma management. It is a PGDM in healthcare management. So what it means? It means that we are catering to entire healthcare sector, not just for these 2 sectors, these 2 segments. So we ensure that our curriculum covers other segments of healthcare as well. So we provide deep domain knowledge in medical devices, health insurance, health IT and informatics, healthcare data analytics, healthcare facility design, accreditation, health-centric economics, and legal aspects and ethics in healthcare. These are some of the subjects that we have. So what is the implication of this? If you get a degree in PGDM healthcare and you get deep domain knowledge in multiple areas in healthcare, it allows you to move beyond whatever graduation degree that you may have. So as an example, somebody may have, let's say, B.Pharm background, and of course he or she may want to continue in pharma industry, well and good. But after doing PGDM in healthcare, because of the diverse curriculum that we have, he or she may shift to, let's say, health insurance or health IT company or medical device company. And same way, somebody may have done dentistry, may not be wanting to continue. If wants to continue in clinical domain, well and good, can go to hospitals as well. But after doing PGDM healthcare, can shift to healthcare IT or insurance for pharma industry as well. So this is one advantage of doing PGDM in healthcare management, and the curriculum is designed in such a way that you can easily shift from whatever maybe your graduation degree. So that is the main message that I wanted to convey in this particular slide. This is another way of representing the same thing which I said, but basically, but it's still important to address these points. So 50% of the curriculum is about healthcare domain, and we say that we are taking a T-shaped approach. And what it means is that we have 50% curriculum on healthcare domain and 50% on general management subjects. And the horizontal part of T is expected to convey the breadth of general management that you'll have, and the vertical part of the T is expected to convey that you will have in-depth knowledge of healthcare domain, which I've already listed, but one more time I'll read: pharma, hospital, medical devices, health IT, insurance, health facility design, healthcare service management, accreditation, legal aspects in healthcare, public health, and NGO and CSR management. And on horizontal part of T, you will learn general management concepts, including HR, finance and economics, marketing, leadership, critical thinking, operations, supply chain management, design thinking and innovation, analytics, communication, sustainability, and teamwork. So it's going to be a balance between general management skills as well as healthcare knowledge. Now, there are questions about placement and summer internships. So I have a few slides about it. I'll probably already answer in my presentation. So the senior batch which completed their internship last year, 2021. So SIP is summer internship program. So in healthcare program, we have restriction that they should do their internship only in healthcare companies. Placement, there are no restrictions like that, but for internship we have, because we don't want to provide them exposure to healthcare industry. Ultimately, this is a sectoral program. So all of our students get internship in healthcare sector. That continues to happen. It happened for last year as well. Due to lockdown, last 2 years, our students could not go for internship on site physically to the companies. So what we did is we also added one more. Apart from SIP, we added a summer internship research program, and every person was provided one more additional project, which was mentored by industry mentors. This was to make sure that just because our students are not going to marketplace or on site of the company, they shouldn't lose out. So this was especially done to provide them competitive edge, even in COVID times when students could not go on site. So we, instead of giving them one internship, we give everybody in a way 2 projects so that they get enough experience. These are some of the segments and then companies. These are just last year's companies which came for summer internships. So medical devices, B. Braun, Biomedical, Roche Diagnostics, Smith & Nephew, Silas, Healthcare IT, TCS, Applied Cloud Computing, Phoenix, etc. Insurance side, Bajaj Finserv, Risk Global, Max Life Insurance, Hospital, which all large hospitals are there. Pharma, Cipla, Mankind, Medtroids, Pfizer, consulting companies, wellness companies, healthcare startup like TCS, this, and life science company like Raman and Wave. Similarly, there are queries about placement. So for the last batch which completed their PGDM last year, current batch is still in their fifth trimester. So we had 100% placement in the batch, and this is despite difficult business environment due to COVID. Entire batch was placed. This slide has details of the companies which have taken our students in last from 2017 to 2021, so 5 years. And I divided these company logos in 7 sort of verticals: pharma companies, healthcare providers, life sciences, wellness, medical device companies, consulting companies, healthcare IT companies, and insurance companies. And you can see, but maybe I'll read out a few names. So in pharma side, again, big names like Glenmark, Elkin, Syngene, Medtroids, Troika, Sun Pharma, Shalina, these are there. Hospital side, again, Reliance, those hospital, Kims are there. On medical device, a large company like Philips, Johnson & Johnson, Bard, which has now become Becton Dickinson, Smith & Nephew, GE Healthcare. Consulting side, again, any name that you want to take. Deloitte, EY, Nielsen, Kantar, Equia, AAA Healthcare, these are there. Healthcare, again, healthcare IT side, again, you can see probably virtually every IT company is listed here. So Infosys, Accenture, Cognizant, DXC, Capgemini, Newgen, and insurance side also, virtually every company is there. So this is last year's batch, and average as well as median salary both were more than 8 lakhs, and maximum was 11.4 lakhs. This year, this year's senior batch, which will complete their PGDM in May this year, placements are still ongoing. 85% are already placed, and as of today, average as well as median salaries both have further increased compared to last year, and both are more than 10 lakhs. Maximum was 18 lakhs so far, and minimum was 7.5 lakhs. So this is, but the placement is still going on, 85%. they are in fifth trimester out of 6 trimesters. So still another 4 months is there. So in a way, they are in the middle of their placement cycle as of. And there are some questions asked about what type of rules are there. So I've divided these rules function wise because people still traditionally understand these functions: marketing or sales, IT, analytics or consulting, operations, finance or insurance, and HR. And then again, I'll read out some of the titles, job titles that our students get. So on marketing or sales side, digital marketing manager or trainee, could be domestic, could be international, product manager, business development manager or trainee, key account manager, sales manager, could be sales specialist. On consulting side, business analyst, business associate, business consultant, business advisor, IT consultant, or IT salesman. These are the typical or most frequently offered titles for PGDM healthcare students. On operations side, logistics and supply chain manager, hospital operations manager or trainee, clinic branch or floor manager, hospital planning or design consultant. And on finance or insurance side, health claims manager or trainee, life insurance or operations, or IT manager or trainee. HR side, most of the time, the role that is offered is for talent acquisition manager. I also thought I can include at least one career path for you to understand what happens once you do PGDM. So this is a sort of a career path of one of the alumna from PGDM healthcare program. She did her B Farm in 2011 and joined PGDM healthcare 12-14 batch, 2012 to 2014. So as you can see in the from left to right, 2013 she did her internship with IPCA. 2014 she got placed with the in campus with Medley, and within 1.5 years she got promoted to assistant product manager. Then she switched jobs. After a year, she became associate product manager, and within 2 years she got promoted to product manager. And after 2 years again she switched jobs, and last when I checked, she was working as global project manager. Again, the point behind this is how once you do PGDM healthcare, you can achieve quick job growth, which may be otherwise slower if you do not have PGDM or equivalent degree. So it helps you in faster promotion and growing rapidly in your jobs. But then jobs are not the only thing. Many of our students do become entrepreneurs, and these are some examples. Typically, every batch want to go for entrepreneurship and they start their own ventures. These are some examples, and so this is what I expect, and I encourage our students as well, that why should you just look for placements, and I will prefer that many of the students or candidates who join our program, they should actually become job providers instead of remaining job seekers. So I do encourage some of you who are in audience today to become job providers for others rather than going for placements. And these are some examples of some of our alumni who have started their own ventures. One slide. This is a busy slide. I agree, but I'll explain and try to simplify it. So questions are asked about what the USPs of the PGDM healthcare program, and I have divided this in 3 parts: input side, process side, and output side. And I'll explain on each of these bit a bit. So on input side, what I'm trying to say, and if I had to say in single word, I'll use the word diversity, and that applies in multiple areas. First of all, the intake or the student population that we have in the program. So our students are really having diverse educational background as well as experience. They come from really diverse background, and in my opinion, that is a strength of the program. Similarly, our faculty in the program, I come from medical device background, as Lakshmi was introducing. Professor Anjali has experience and background in health economics and health insurance. Professor Asavri herself is an MBBS doctor, has taught in hospitals earlier and now teaching here in PGDM healthcare. I have 2 other colleagues who have pharma background, industry experience, as well as experience in life science industry. So this is the diversity in faculty that we have. Curriculum diversity, I've already shown you a couple of slides. So that is on the input side that you can expect to look at. On process side, we do emphasize the curriculum is designed in such a way that at least quarter, maybe I should actually say probably 33%, maybe 1/3, but at least 25% of time that you will spend in PGDM will be outside the classroom. So curriculum itself is designed in such a way that you are not just learning in classroom, but we are sort of going to force you to learn beyond the four walls of the classroom. And that is by internship, by GCL program, Global Citizen Leadership Program. We'll hear about it on some other platforms, field visits, plant visits, and many other ways. Second way on process side is that we give a lot of personalized attention to students who join our program. Right on the first day, every student is assigned a faculty mentor, and then that person gets a personalized attention from that faculty. And that attention could be in any form, could be needing help with competitions, deciding what type of internship or specialization he or she should go for, how to go for a startup, etc. So it could be any type of mentoring that is required. So our faculty offer that type of mentorship. We also assign every student a buddy, senior buddy. So that helps in sort of getting adjusted in PGDM. Whether where is the library and how to get access to research papers or books, or what books to read, and how to deal with some quantitative subjects and so on. So the students will have their own queries. So they have access to at least one senior buddy is assigned to each student from program side, and they have access to that person right from day one. So these are some ways I'm calling it personalized attention that is given to every student in the program. Third is a lot of networking opportunities provided in the program, and not only within your classmates, which are from diverse backgrounds, your seniors, your alumni, industry experts. There will be a lot of sessions there. So you have a lot of opportunities to build your network. We also encourage our students, and I'll show some examples of, being content creators and being present on social media. So they develop their own brand and image on internet. So that is, again, I can say third part of the process. And ultimately, what it leads to. So I can say two things it leads to. And I'm proud of both of these. First is that our students, they become sort of being consumers of content, just being learners. They actually start producing content. They start becoming thought leaders, and they start creating contents for others to consume rather than remaining creators, rather than just remaining consumers of somebody else's knowledge. So that I'm really proud of, and I'll show you some examples of that. And second, ultimately, I can say we prepare our students so that they are ready to take up any challenges or demands of the complex healthcare sector. So this is what I mean by on output side, what is USP of the program. I just have one slide on. I said about peer-to-peer learning. So this is just one example of where these are both, by the way, students, Sunidhi and Anuj. So Anuj has taken a session on biostatics for his classmates. So these are the type of sessions students are taking for other students. They are teaching each other, and faculty are not. Faculty are only facilitators, making sure that infrastructure is available to them. If a classroom is required, or MS Team setup is required, faculty will ensure that is available. Similarly, Sunidhi has taken a session on Excel. She is teaching other classmates like that. And by the way, every student does it. Every student learns something from others and teaches something to others. So this program is called Samavesh. Similarly, I was talking about our students becoming content creators. So these are last year's October's slide. So you can see every of these are senior batch students. Each student has already published at least 4 articles. Many of you would have published even more. And these are published on LinkedIn. And so this is what I mean by our students becoming content creators, not remaining just consumers. And some more examples of what articles they write. So applications of Immertex, so cloud computing, to cybersecurity, to machine learning, robotic process automation, blockchain, chatbots, VR, AR, application of drones, brain-computer interface, digital twins, 5G or telesurgery, robotics, and data visual. These are some of the articles. And again, if you search on internet, you'll find plenty of more articles which our students have written. So this is the message I was trying to give there as an output ultimately, and I'm proud of it, that in PGDM Healthcare, our students transform from being consumers of others' content to creators of their own original content. So far, if I have to summarize what I've covered so far, and I have a few more slides after this also. But so far, what I've talked about is that healthcare sector is good to be in, and four specific things I want to once again recall or re-emphasize. One, it is a recession-proof. It doesn't get affected by what is happening in marketplace. I did show quickly about what is happening to BSc healthcare index, despite COVID pandemic being there. It is well paying. I've shown you some of the salary figures, and increments in the sector tends to be good. You'll be well paid in healthcare sector. This is another thing I have not directly talked about it, but I think it's a good point to bring it up. Is that in healthcare sector, one of the other way you'll be working with let's say clinicians. You'll anyway will work with intelligent people, and you'll be working with clinicians or doctors. And you can again take my word for it; they are among the most intelligent people to be around. So this is another advantage of being in healthcare sector. And lastly, this I have to emphasize one more time, is that the impact that whatever you do in healthcare sector is ultimately going to be affecting somebody's life. You are going to save somebody's life. You are going to increase somebody's lifespan or decrease somebody's pain, right? So that satisfaction that you get, that is sort of unbeatable. And when you have all material things in life, I'm sure that that is what everybody seeks to, wanted to make difference to others, and that is already you get from day one in healthcare sector. Now, there are a few questions asked about eligibility and who is suitable for joining PGDM healthcare programs. I've included one slide for that. As far as education is concerned, as long as it is healthcare sector, definitely that is directly suitable. So MBBS, dentistry, Ayurveda, homeopathy, pharmacy, paramedical, physiotherapy, biomedical engineering, bioengineering, biotech, life sciences, etc., and some engineering as well. They are directly suitable for the program. Some of you who may have prior experience in healthcare sector, again, I'll say that is directly suitable, because that doesn't mean what is your educational background. You already have experience in working. So these two are, I'll say, definitely relevant for healthcare program. But in general, if I had to say, I will put it as long as you are interested, you can do well in healthcare program. It's not necessary to have education or experience. What is more important is whether you are interested in working in healthcare sector. And as long as you have interest, then I think you can pick up whatever that you want to do. Additionally, some questions are asked about what traits are required to be successful. So this is an acronym I have created. This is my personal opinion, and I call it icing on the cake. It's like that. So if you have initiative, good communication skills, if you are curious or inquisitive, if you are nimble or agile, and if you have grit or determination, I think you will do well in healthcare sector. Quickly, a few slides about extracurricular. So our students do participate in lot of, it's not just about academics, a lot of extracurricular activities. And for example, Iti here on left top has won Novartis Biocamp a couple of years back. Our student participate in badminton, so they are national level winners and runners up in badminton. And so many images are there that I don't have time to explain and tell you about each of these. Our student team won in 2020 Smart India Hackathon for one particular problem statement given by HealthRx. This was another unique experience opportunity that we created. 3 of PGDM healthcare students were involved in a case writing. Case writing, as many of you may know, only faculty are involved, but we gave opportunity to 3 students to collaborate on this with 2 international faculty, USA and Canada. And their experience then we showcased in North American Case Research Association conference in 2020, and this particular session was most watched in 2020. So this is again another example of how we provide unique opportunities to our students. On special days like World Health Day, our students participate in creating some artwork or videos, etc., how they are keeping themselves healthy, or even faculty, what you see on left side of the image here is a faculty, how we are keeping ourselves physically fit or even mentally fit by, let's say, listening to music or playing musical instruments. Similarly, our students participate in formation of a human chain for increasing awareness about cancer, and this was covered in newspapers widely. Similarly, last year on World Patient Safety Day, each of us, faculty as well as students, changed our profile pic and changed the frame to show our support to the initiative. And that time the theme was Act Now for Safe and respectful childbirth. And this particular all the things that we did were also shared with WHO. And our students continue to win competitions, and the runners-up, of course, Public Health Challenge. Our student team was third, another competition winner. This was just last week. So in a hackathon, which was called V4 Tech Hackathon, one team from healthcare team was runner-up for a track which was on 3D modeling and printing. So this is all. If you want to know more about our student capabilities, I will paste these links, or my colleagues will paste these links. Please do follow us on. We are present on all social media platforms: Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. And you can come to know about what our students do. And I'm sure you'll be excited about what they are doing as part of the program. So thank you very much for being wonderful audience. I've included my contact details here. So if I'm not able to answer your queries today, you can also reach out to me either by mobile number. I'm also present on WhatsApp or by email. This particular QR code, if you scan it, will take you to PGDM Healthcare website as well. So this is all. I'm done with my presentation. I think we have another 7-8 minutes time, so we can take questions.
Yes, sir. We have actually a few questions which are already answered. There is one open question. So Purva is asking, I have pursued my Masters of Pharmacy from University of Mumbai, 3 years of experience, and I'm based out of Goa. I'm finding it extremely difficult to find a manager level job in Goa since they are mostly only production plants in Goa. Also, the retail pharmacy business is saturated with big players like Wellness Forever and Apollo Pharmacy coming up. Please do suggest a career path that is something other than the production or QA or QC or retail pharmacy.
So I think I covered a slide on variety of roles,
Career
and I specifically said that the degree that we offer is PGDM Healthcare Management. It's not PGDM in Pharma Management. So once you do, I will actually answer it this way. It depends on your interest. You can actually go to medical devices, you can go to insurance, you can go to healthcare consulting, you can go to healthcare IT, but it depends. And you can continue in pharma as well. It depends on your interest.
Okay.
So all of these will open up, is how I can answer. All of these options will open up for you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that answer. One more quick question is, any input on healthcare quality management?
Yeah, so we have courses on healthcare quality management, as well as at least 2 subjects, one on quality management, one on accreditation. So you learn those as well. Curriculum provides you enough knowledge on that.
And will this program be helpful in international hospital operations?
International hospital operations, I think basics of healthcare or hospital operations definitely you learn, but I think some of the things will be different depending on the country. You will learn international accreditation, so to that extent, definitely that will give you exposure. We can put you in touch with, we have enough contacts, so we can make sure that you get exposure through the curriculum, through the 2 years that you spend here. We can put you in touch with international hospital contacts, and then if somebody is interested, we can make special efforts. As I said, we do take personal approach that person gets that type of exposure.
Okay, sir. There are a few questions which are coming up. Will this program be helpful? That is answered. Okay, it's the same. Similar. Do we get international exposure during the program?
So international exposure is is sort of open, but that is an institute level. So there are opportunities which are provided to all PGDM programs, including healthcare students also. So that will be there, sort of couple of weeks visits or international additional courses that you can take. That opportunity is available to all programs, including PGDM healthcare students. And as I said, we can make special efforts as part of the personalized approach for special situations. We'll be glad to help.
Okay, so with that, we are done with the questions. There were other queries which have been answered by Anjali ma'am and Asawari ma'am. So
maybe you
that,
can wait for another few seconds or something if in case any other questions come.
yes,
Something that hesitate.
one
Otherwise,
student is just, she's already, he's already done MSc nursing and presently pursuing PGDM in healthcare. So will that be a good career opportunity for me? So he's already taken up, still he just want the surety on it.
in my opinion, yes, it would be
Yes,
good
of course.
opportunity. I think I've answered in detail. And once again, if I have tried to go slow, but if you find I was going fast, you can rewatch this video on YouTube and go through my slides.
So we'll just wait for a minute.
Any inputs on product manager? So again, we have sufficient coverage in the curriculum on product management, on marketing subjects, on marketing management, in pharma sales management. So yes, you'll get enough exposure, and then if you are interested, you can make career there.
Okay. Sir, I think we are done with the questions. So we can officially end the session. So before that, I would just like to tell students, this video will be live it will be available on our YouTube channel. So in case in future, if you have any query related to healthcare, you can watch the link. It will be sent to all of you through SMS also. So in future also, you can refer the video. So I would like to thank Bhagwati sir and Asavari ma'am and Anjali ma'am for sparing time to guide our students. And I would like to thank all students also for attending this session. I hope it was useful for you. So any doubt in future, you can reach out to sir also. Okay.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, my colleagues. And thank you, audience, for being wonderful audience today. Thank you for your time as well. Bye. Have a nice day.